Now then, we're back again today with some more Warhammer 40k. We're going to be painting this Deffkopta for the Orks Speed Freeks army. So we're going to start off with gunmetal grey as usual. You guys are probably used to this routine by now. Pick out all those metal bits, try and get those darker sections blocked in. The nice thing about this strategy is it kind of covers up a lot of the mistakes. For someone like me who tends to miss bits, especially because it just winds up looking like almost deliberate, I guess. Orcs are a little bit sloppy with the things they do, let's face it. They'd probably miss bits too. So we've got some nice coverage there. Everything's silver that should be. I'm going to go back in and have a wash of Agrax Earthshade. Nearly lost it there. I managed to not throw it over my desk this time, unlike in the Scarab video, which that was nice, honestly. I enjoyed it. Let's clean up. So we're going to go back in now with a nice dark green. I believe this is Warflesh. Just starting off the base layer of the Orc himself. Get his skin nice. Switching it up with Vallejo Dark Vermilion. This I think this model does lend itself really well to this kind of fast painting because it's got that high amount of steel and metal. So once you've got the metal down, there isn't really that much extra to do, but there's enough there to keep it interesting because there are things that you can do, like obviously pick out the tank, pick out the metal on the front, pick out the wings, there's bits on the rotors. So if this were my first model, I think I'd be quite chuffed with it. Providing I know what to do, of course. You don't always with your first model, but... yeah, there we go, just picking out the wings. It's a bit fiddly getting in there. Especially with the camera in front of my face. I'm getting there with it, but it is a little bit challenging at times. Just figuring out how to angle things for you guys so that you get the best view and that we get the best paint job. I do sometimes have to go touch stuff up off camera. So you can either use Intermediate Green by Vallejo, which is what I'm using here, or you could also use Citadel's Warpstone Glow. Or whatever it's called now, it's not Citadel anymore, is it? Which I thought was a shame when I heard about it. But hey ho, it is what it is. So is this Wild Rider Red? I think that's the lighter one. I think we're actually using Evil Sun Scarlet with a sponge. I do get these paints mixed up a little bit. You'll have to forgive me. I'm really liking using the sponge. With not really having access to an airbrush, it just gives the texture of the paint a little bit of something. Makes it look more interesting. Just doing the cabling now. There's a few cables around this model. I did most of them blue. I did mean to go back out and pick some out in green and yellow, but I don't think we actually did. So if you want to do that, if you're following along, if you've got a model on the table, you do that. I think it'll look really nice. We did pick some of the cabling and the bits and pieces out in black, which Would have just been nice to have had some extra colours. There's a few bits on the model that you can pick out in Vallejo Copper or Balthazar's Gold, just to make them look a little bit more interesting. It's like almost kind of a pressure vessel thing on top, which I assume is the fuel tank. I don't know if they make fuel tanks out of copper, or brass. Well, it does look interesting, painted that way. I liked it. Got a few hydraulic bits as well. So my Wild Rider Red here had gone a little bit weird, so I had to thin it down quite heavily to do the edge highlighting that you're seeing. So this is Wild Rider Red, and it's got some Vallejo Glaze Medium mixed in. It's about a 1-to-1. Just pick out the lines on that nice red hull. Get it looking good. There's a bit of hand-eye coordination to it, and there's some muscle memory to it as well, so it does take practice getting any kind of good at edge highlighting, I think. And I'd say I'm probably not the best at it myself, but I was quite happy with how this turned out. Except for this bit where I completely missed. Happens to the best of us. Just doing a little bit of highlighting on the tank. I didn't try and edge highlight it, I don't think. I just did some area shading. Going back in with some brown. This is a Vallejo brown. I don't remember the name of it, actually. All of the paints should be in the description that I used. Now this paint I do know the name of. The Citadel one is called Xander Dust, and this is, I believe, German Beige. It's a bit lighter than Xander Dust. Just saves doing all of his trousers in a leathery brown, really. It looks quite nice. So I believe we're now doing some extra highlights in Runefang Steel. Trying to pick out some of those nice raised areas to get some light in there, make it look nicer, make it pop a little bit. My pot of Runefang congealed long ago and I refused to replace it, so again I added a little bit of thinner to it using Vallejo Glaze Medium. I find it works a little bit better than water. It's got the same consistency as the paint because it is basically paint with no pigment in it. It does a very nice job of keeping it together, making it a nice texture to work with. Alright, onto the rotor blades. Same deal again, we're just going to do gunmetal grey. Smear as much as we can on. Looks like there's still a little bit of red pigment there from the water, which I didn't spot when I was doing it. It's funny what you can spot on the camera after the fact. It's not too noticeable on the model, but it did look like it was a little bit red. Back on with dark vermilion. I did a few of these teeth red, and then I came back and did some more yellow, just to make it visually more interesting to look at. Smear some more Ironbreaker on. Like I say, most of these old steel paints, old silver paints have gone a bit weird over time. I really should replace them, but I'm limping along as best I can at the minute with them. It'll happen one day. I do find these Citadel pots a little bit annoying. I need to look at if there are Vallejo silver paints that I can maybe buy. They do obviously the copper and metallic, so I'm imagining they must do silver. And we managed to break the arm off the model. That wasn't very clever. Had to glue that back on. Going back in, doing the tips of the missiles and the little teeth ornamentation bits on the front. I didn't do all of the rockets yellow. Just wanted to make it look a little bit random and interesting to look at. Like I say, I think a little bit of randomness is good. Especially with Orks, they're chaotic and noisy. Went in with a lighter yellow. This one would be... The previous one would be Avalon Sunset. And probably Aerial Yellow would be the equivalents. I'll post the Vallejo paints that I did actually use in the description again, so you guys can check out, see the difference for yourself if you're using Citadel. So that looks like Elysian green to me. Just doing some highlighting. Make the skin look a little bit nice. Make him pop a little bit. I like to mix up my orc skin quite a lot. So sometimes I'll use moot green, sometimes I'll use Elysian green over a warpstone glow with a wire flesh base. And I'll just have as many different types as I can, just to give them a little bit of interest to look at as an army. So for this one, I used flat white with the brown we used earlier, and I created a little bit of a custom colour. And there's the finished model. Doesn't that look nice with that desert base? I did forget to paint the tree though. So, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for coming along, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.